Welcome, Anya Levine, your house coach. And today we are just going to talk about simplifying sections for when you are organizing your space, either your desk or a room. It could be a garage, it could be your clothes, whatever the items are. It could be the spice rack. I just want to go with you step by step on how to make it easier. And I've got a couple of words I like to use and just want to give you some tidbits on what you can do to make it more fun, get it done, and feel so happy and not overwhelmed. And we're going to start with a word called surface work. So when you are looking at creating a simplistic space of removing items that you're not sure if you want, you're not sure if you need, and let's just give an example of the spice rack. The spice cupboard. Take all the spices out. And the surface work is a table. So you can use your kitchen table, you can use your counter in your kitchen, you can use your dining room table. If you are working in your closet, you can use your bed as a surface table. And for some of us, we do have those foldable tables. If you're working in your garage, you can take that out. If you're working, let's say, in your office, you can clear everything from your desk and use that as a surface space. So that is a really important key to have, a place that you can start putting the items on. I always use that as a surface space. And if there isn't a surface space, such as a bed or a desk or a counter or the table, then you can always use the floor. And you can put in the different sections. The next area I want to talk about is sections. And you can have items put in the section of donate. So whatever you don't need anymore, you just donate it. Now, if you're working on spices, there might be a couple for donate. But clothing, there actually always is. Tools. In the office, might be books. But do a section on donate. And you can even take a piece of paper and write down that section. Write down that word, donate, and put that down in one section. Another section is like with like. So if you are, again, in the spice cupboard, and all of a sudden you're finding measuring spoons, put them in a section that you know you then have to transfer them where the measuring spoons are. Or if you're doing your clothes, maybe all of a sudden you're finding like gloves. I'm just showing that I have a turtleneck on as I'm filming this when the weather is starting to get a little bit cool. And so put that in the like with like section. And even though you might find 3 or 4 different items that are not glove and hat related or not measuring cup related, but in that area you will then be able to take the time later and put that away where it needs to go. Then there is the section that is garbage. So anything that is garbage that can't be given away, that can't be used, put that straight in the garbage. And then there is the section of repair. So if something needs to be repaired. When you have something that needs to be repaired, I want you to just take an extra time period and look at that item and ask yourself that when it is repaired, will you use it? Because if you won't use it, then you can get rid of it. Now, if you want to repair it and then donate it, then that is fine as well. But just take the time to think that once it's repaired, are you really going to use it? And then the other is the categories. So the items that are all the items that you will be keeping. So all the spices that you will be keeping, all the clothes that you will be keeping. So put that in one section. Now, the other sections that we have, the donate, right away, get a bag or a box and put the items that are donating in that box. So for example, when I am doing donations, and if it's clothing or fabrics or some sort, right away they go into a clear bag, and I actually put it toward the back of the home, so when I'm leaving it can go into the garage, which will then go in the car, which will then go to the place that I will be bringing in the clothes. Or if it's in the garage donating, but then put it in a box, but have that ready out the door already. Anything that is garbage, same concept, throw it away right away. Anything that needs to be fixed, put it in the area where the fixing happens. So if it is, for example, something of clothing, then bring it close to where the sewing basket is, whatever that section is for you. Or if something needs to be repaired through glue, maybe you have like a little tools section area, put that over there. And you might even want to jot down in your calendar to remind yourself to sew that button on that blouse, or to glue that statue or whatever, that piece of jewelry. And then when you have some time and then you can see it, it's in your calendar, you're actually going to get it done earlier than later. So that's under the repair. And if there's anything that you are donating to a family member, also put that away in a separate little bag. I always keep paper bags around in case I need them to then transfer some books or whatever the item is. And then have that close to the door or the clothes closet, like the coat closet, so that when you do see your sister or when you do see your friend, that is ready to be given right away, so it isn't forgotten. It's put somewhere that's not out in the way, but somewhere that is visible enough to remind you that when you see that person, you have that. And in fact, you might even start by giving them a text or an email and saying, listen, I've got the 3 books that I thought you might like to read. I've put them in the bag, so the next time I see you, I will give them to you. And you know what, if I forget, can you just remind me? And that way you're already putting it out there. So that is those items. Then the items that are left, now you can put those in categories. And again, if it's all the black t-shirts and then all the white t-shirts, or all the socks. Socks are a huge one, the matching socks. Think about the times that, you know what, enough is enough, got to get rid of those single socks. Happens to us all the time. Now, also with spices and any other foods, take a look at what is expired. Yes, it is in the garbage section, but sometimes we don't realize that. So make sure you take a look at that as well. And then start putting them in categories. It could be, if we're going into, again, spices, I'm here from Toronto, Canada, and is a very universal community, so we get to actually enjoy a lot of different cultural foods. So in my cupboard, you'll see a lot of spices that are maybe more Asian driven, and then there might be some that are more European, Greek, and Italian driven. So you might put that in categories. It just all depends. Or you can put them in categories of the different sizes, whatever works for you. So think about that. The other thing I want to talk to you about when you're doing something like that is the timer. And the timer is by, you might have 20 minutes. And that's great because you might say, you know what, I'm just going to take 20 minutes today, and that is it. And so you might, again, I'm going to give you an example of the spice jar. You take 20 minutes, you put the timer on for 15, you go do what you need to do in the categories, and then when 15 minutes are up, you've got 5 minutes left. Take those 5 minutes left for cleaning. And so put back the spices that are expired in the garbage, and then at least you've done something. And it's already changed the environment, the atmosphere. The next word that I want to talk to you about is chunking. So for example, let's talk an example on the kitchen. If you want to chunk organizing what's behind the cupboards, you might say to yourself, I'm not going to do the whole kitchen in one day. That is so overwhelming, and we are so busy, and we get busier and busier and busier. And when we hear that we have to take a whole day to do our kitchen, we don't want to do it. So I love saying the word chunking. Maybe every Monday for 20 minutes, you take a cupboard, and in about a month and a half, 2 months, you will have gone through that cupboard. So again, remind yourself that it's an evolution. It's constantly evolving and revolving. And so don't feel everything happens right away in one day or in 1 hour or in one afternoon. Chunk it. Break it down into small sections. It makes it so much easier. And put it in your calendar. Put it in your calendar. You'll listen to a podcast Monday for 20 minutes while you're doing a cupboard, or you'll chat on the phone for a friend or whatever. I do want to bring one more item in the repairs. If it is broken, like a chipped mug, or I will talk more about something being chipped. If it's broken, just throw it away, because it's not very good energy to have that. If there's a crack in a dish or something like that, sometimes people say to me, but that's, that dish is very important to me. It came from my grandmother. Absolutely. If it's important to you, then don't get rid of it. But just, again, when things are broken, throw it away. And then the last word that I want to talk to you about is maintenance. Maintaining. So maintaining the organization of the clutter, of the stuff, maintaining what our fridge is like, maintaining what our closet is like, maintaining our garage, whatever that space may be, maintaining. I want you to know that maintaining is the most incredible, fulfilling, inspiring, uplifting, what is the word now? Project you can do for self-improvement. You might not feel happy, you might feel stuck, you might be upset, you might be, grab a section of your home and start decluttering, start tidying it up. Again, if it's one shelf, if it's one cupboard, it is the next closest thing to improving who you are. Because remember, you're the best thing. You are the best thing since sliced bread. And you deserve to have the best. Live in your highest potential. Live in a home that's supporting you, that's high vibrating. Transform your space. Your life will be transformed. And take these wonderful little tidbits. I am here in 2019. You might be listening to it in 2020, but empower yourself to greatness because you deserve it. Anya Levine, your house coach. If you love what you heard, please subscribe and share and comment. Bye for now.